All right, we are here. We're here, peoples. Welcome to the year 2023. So I have a question for each and every one of our panelists here today. Let's say you're out on the street, right? And unfortunately, you did not obey your mom's rules about looking before you cross the street. And unfortunately, Truck Coon decided to strike again, and he got us. He got all of us. Took us all out. But fortunately, God decided to isekai us. But for his own amusement, he decided to isekai us into the last anime we watched.
Oh
So
no.
where are we going?
Dang.
Where are we going? And how
Uh,
long do we last?
okay.
So who wants to go
Um,
first?
I can start us out. Hey y'all, it's Afro Puff Samurai. And I would have been safe if I didn't watch this episode yesterday. But the last anime I watched was the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. And now with my current stats, I would be fodder. Like in those episodes where the slight spoilers where people were getting marked like nobody's business, I would be that person. My head would just be blown up. However, if I had main character energy, I think I'd do pretty good. I think I'd do pretty good. I think I'd be up there with the captains and that kind of stuff. Ooh, I want to be like Yoroichi. That's who I want to be like.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But Ichigo level.
All right, Gabe.
So I accidentally saved myself late last night. So because the last show that I initially was watching was My Hero Academia season 6, and I caught up with it.
Ooh.
So I saved myself from the recent stuff that happened by watching The Way of the House Husband. I just started that.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's cute.
That's good. That's good.
Saved yourself.
Yeah.
All right, nice. For me, I'm also safe because I've been preparing for our March episode. So I've been watching Ace of the Diamond. So I would get teleported to a high school baseball anime.
Okay.
So I would live.
Nice, nice. Unfortunately, I ended up watching the newest episode of My Hero Academia this morning,
R.I.P.
which, considering what happened in that
No
episode,
spoilers. I will literally fight you.
unfortunately, if I don't have main character status, if I'm not Lemillion, if I'm not Deku, and
Literally fight you.
if I'm not a rogue Jedi status, I ain't making it. If I'm just a regular quirkless human or I got a trash quirk, I'm dead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm gone.
Oh, can I put out a brief spoiler for this, or not a spoiler, but I wanted to say trigger warning, but I don't think that's appropriate. I am a dub watcher, so I am behind. So the reason why I'm threatening violence to my fellow co-hosts today is because the dubs have not caught up. They haven't even finished what came out before the holidays. So I will reiterate, if you give me spoilers, I'm looking at you, Rogue Jedi. Give me spoilers. I will find you and I will truck coon you myself. I will isekai you myself, okay?
Hey, what's with all the hatred against me?
You're the closest to give me spoilers.
I did not even
Yes,
spoil
you did. You said
anything.
Lemillion. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yeah, that's because the boy Lemillion was goated.
No. Nah.
He
You're
was
not.
goated down in the area arc.
No.
Can I just say the obligatory dubs are trash?
Yes,
I can't.
yes, you
yeah.
can.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Let's leave that behind in 2022, guys. Leave that behind in 2022.
It's all right.
All right. Well, let's move on.
So we ready to do this, Meech?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yep. So I'm Demetrius,
And I'm Demetrius.
and Meech and Meech presents.
Blurred City Podcast.
All right. So as you can already tell, we have two special guests. Once again, we have the Afro Puff Samurai, and for the fourth one, we have a really special guest who we were originally going to do the anime villain draft with 4 people. And if you thought that episode was wild, if this guest would have came one, that would have been the end of us. So, Meech, you want to introduce him?
All right, so we got ourselves the canceled one himself. We got the man who likes to stir the pot in every way, shape, or form. The man who likes to roll up in closets, roll up in your closet, his closet, everybody's closet, and
Mm-hmm.
decides to make your life completely torturous. The
Yes.
one, the only, the best man. We got Gabfreak himself.
So,
All right, so dope. So we really need the legal Spiegel right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to the introduction of Gabfreak, I have to reiterate this by saying that the purpose of this podcast is to explore digital and print media. All sources we reference are owned by their respective companies, and our thoughts and opinions are strictly our own and reflect no biases or corporate agendas. To everybody who's watching, your discretion is 1,000,000% advised.
Yeah. So with 2023 kicking off, 2022, one of the best years of anime that I can recall in my lifetime, hopped off. So we're just gonna get it all together. This is like the anime council that we know. We're gonna just like discuss what happened in 2022, preview what happened and what we expect to happen in 2023 with things that are already announced, things that we expect to be announced. So we're kicking off the second part of our season 2. We got a lot. We're going until April, and then we're going to see where we go from season 3 moving forward. But what we're going to hit you with, what's hot, but it's a non-anime version since we're going to cover a whole bunch of anime throughout the course of this conversation. So anything that's hot or interesting in the world of nerddom or geekdom that y'all have seen.
For me, it would be like WWE wrestling in general. Like I kind of been falling off of it just because like a lot of things have been happening in the wrestling world. But one of the biggest things that's happening right now that's like driving all the fans crazy is that Vince McMahon recently came back to the board after a whole lot of allegations that happened against them. And now there's announcements that they are preparing the company to be sold. So now all the fans are like, what major network is gonna buy the WWE? So that's like a huge deal for us right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm scared because I'm going to the Rumble in January, so I hope it's not trash because of that.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yo.
Just
Back to the PG era.
Oh my gosh.
Don't you dare bring that back up.
Meech, you got anything?
All right, I got plenty. All right, I'm a save you right now. All right, so firstly, of course, by the time you're listening to this, Megan already dropped.
I'm watching it later today.
It's oh boy, oh boy, it deserves. I just say it deserves. That's all I'm gonna say. It deserves. What it deserves, I can't say. I can't tell y'all. But yeah. So other than that, of course, in comic sphere, Dark Web is still going on nice and strong. Gotta see what happens with our boy Ben Riley going off the deep end. So hey, it is what it is. It's all good. And then of course, we have the KLC press. It's still going strong. Your boy was on live stream last Thursday, and by the time you're hearing this, there's going to be another live stream tomorrow, which I will be on personally, with our boy Ryan Stegman and the Supple Boys. If you want to be part of that community, then hey, I'll be happy to link the info in our Instagram because it is fire, and all the interactions that I have with them is just, whoo, oh, it's top notch. But continuing on, we have the trailer to Evil Dead Rise.
Oh my god!
The next movie in the Evil Dead franchise, which unfortunately is not directed by Sam Raimi, and Bruce Campbell's only producing. So take that as you will. That's kind of I'm like
Well, I have to tell you something, Mitch. I changed my mind after watching the trailer again. I'm not going to see this. It's scary.
Oh nah. As I said, I'm dragging you to watch because I still have to watch it just because the Evil Dead name, and I'm a completionist at this point. But
Yes, you are.
yes,
Okay.
but you have to go watch it.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Mhm.
I've heard of Evil Dead.
No.
But is it zombies?
Mm.
Yes and no.
Okay,
It's like
okay.
demon possessed zombies.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying. But also quite interesting. Um, yeah, you guys have shown me that I need to step my game up. Anime
Yeah.
is my first love, and so when you're like, you got to talk about something that's not anime, I'm just like,
Mm.
I don't know.
Dang.
Sometimes you have to be a swinger in the nerd community.
Hey yo. Hey yo. But
Yeah,
moving past that, since you say I'm the one that's getting people canceled. Look at this man. All right, so in the Star Wars realm, of course, we have ourselves the Bad Batch season 2, which dropped.
Yep.
And I'm liking it so far. We also received like teasers for Ahsoka and the announcement for the Acolyte,
Mm.
which I'm super excited for both of those, especially the Ahsoka one because per the news, Hayden Christensen's in it. Our boy Annie's back,
Ooh.
and he's in his Revenge of the Sith phase, so I am hyped.
Yes.
I'm hyped
I
to see
thought
it.
I thought the Star Wars fandom did not like, is it Hayden or Aiden Christensen?
Hayden Christensen.
It's a
I thought,
love-hate relationship.
yeah, because like, I remember him from the first 1, 2, and 3, and he wasn't that good. I'm gonna be honest, I might get canceled for that. Um, if you want to send me any hate mail, please direct them to either the Fallen Shinigami or the Rogue Jedi. They
No.
exclusively have all of my contact information, so
Uh,
I'm gonna send you some personal hate mail myself.
yeah. I'll have to do it myself because you're not gonna blaspheme Hayden Christensen like that.
okay.
Well, because it ain't his fault. It was not his fault. It was the direction because Obi-Wan Kenobi showed that he is really that guy.
Can I do a hot take?
Oh dear
boy.
Lord.
I didn't like the Obi-Wan series. I could not get past episode like 2 or 3. Like I kid you not. I tried so hard.
Fallen Shinigami, can you like turn her video off, please?
No.
Rogue Jedi has the power. Meech, in fairness, we hate Avatar 2 with a passion. And it's made over 1.5 billion. So we have to let it.
No, I will not let this slide. I cannot.
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I did not like the actor who played the black woman who played I can't remember.
Third sister?
Yes, I didn't like her because I didn't like her acting in it. And I did not like the little girl who played the little kid Princess Leia. She got on my nerves. Like I don't typically want to fight kids, but when I do, they look like her. Yeah.
Hold on, where are my blades at?
We didn't even get to the main section yet. We're already off the rails.
I know.
You know what? I'm done. See y'all next year.
Just end the podcast.
All right. For more non-anime stuff, as Meech disappears. Only other thing I have is Kaleidoscope on Netflix. I heard it's very interesting heist TV show, and you can actually watch it in non-chronological order. You can pick literally any episode you want to start with and just watch it. So it has like our GOAT, Gus from
Paulo Esposito?
Yes, it has the GOAT there. So he's in it, like one of the main characters. So that's definitely going to be fire. And then the other thing I have, by the time this comes out, if you are a video game fan, The Last of Us on HBO Max will have released. Or it releases the next week. It's very soon. So just get ready. January, The Last of Us. That's going to be our new, just like weekly show that everyone's going to be talking about. Now we're going to transition. We have to introduce our guests like we always do. So Meech, if you want to take the lead and just like introducing Gabe to the people.
All right, so after emotionally calming down, I figure it's about time to be beside myself in order to introduce our very own Gab Freak himself. So, sir, introduce yourself. How you got into this nerd life?
So, um, so I'm Gabfreak, and how did I get into anime, video games, all the above, nerdom? Well, let's just say in secrecy, because I grew up in those households where my mom, my grandma, they saw a Yu-Gi-Oh card, a Pokemon card, and all of a sudden they all you hear is "Es el diablo!" Everything, Harry Potter, witchcraft.
Yeah.
The funniest part, even the funniest, the witch, the wardrobe, which is all a parody of the Bible, witchcraft. Wasn't allowed to read them. So what Gabe did, he collected money. He worked in secrecy, collected all the money. Had an uncle, the youngest one, who was like, I would go up to him, like, hey, can you go take me to GameStop? Hey, I have enough money for a laptop, for a cheap laptop. Can you go take me to go get one? He said, yeah. Little Gabe, he was a pirate. He was everything. I don't. This is my little legal spiel. I do not condone piracy. But little young Gabe did all that, and that's how he got to read mangas, animes, games that he wasn't supposed to have. My first one that really turned me into a rebel, Pokemon.
You have to catch them all, even the
Yes.
demons.
You gotta.
All of them. I even went up to my grandma once, like, "Hey, I caught Satanas."
And it's a miracle how
I
he's
got.
still alive.
I'm really surprised I'm still alive too. I got some whoopings after that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I deserve them.
All right. That's as big as a introduction as you possibly can. But yeah. So like, what's your favorite shows or your favorite characters growing up, and
All
why?
right, favorite series. All right, so obviously Bleach. Bleach is the main one that introduced me into mature anime. So obviously, my boy Ichigo was one of my favorite characters. But one of a side character that really got me into anime. I think his name is Hisagi, the one with the two sights as a Shinkai
Oh
with the
yeah.
69 on his cheek.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He was my favorite side character, but we all know that the author for Bleach has a thing against him, and we only got one real good fight scene out of him, and that was when he was fighting in a lieutenant Rankar. I forget what you call them,
Yeah.
but there's that's just one fight scene, and like that's the only justice we got for him.
Just wait till July when it comes back around. We'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And how come you never left the nerddom?
Easy is way better content. I want to see fights. I want to see everything that live action will not give you.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot leave the nerdum. I gotta get my fix.
I love it.
His fix. I'm weak.
Yes, and since we're about to do a huge, just like anime recap and then precap, then we're going to kind of see some of the things that you're into right now. So, kicking off to our next segment, we're going to cover the 2022 entire anime year with a few big hitters and then some that are personal favorites that are off the beaten path. We may miss some that listeners you may love. Feel free to send us in or talk about it if you want to. But we have to start with one of the biggest ones of all time, the second ranked, I believe, anime of all time, Attack on Titan.
Rumbling.
Oh. Yo.
Got me rumbling.
And big disclaimer, this is like complete spoilers. So if you haven't listened, we're going to have some timestamps below. You can skip ahead to different segments, or if there's a particular anime you haven't heard, we're going to say it first, and we're going to get into it next. And then also for Paulina, when we get to some of the ones that kind of came out later, please tell us where it stopped at so we don't spoil it for you.
Okay. It's on episode 10 for all of the latest ones.
Okay, dope. But starting with Attack on Titan, one of the biggest first cards of all time.
Yo. So I think one of the scenes that stuck with me the most from this season is when Aaron is talking to his dad in his face in the flashbacks and was like, I know you ain't no punk. Like, you just gonna sit here and let this stand? Like, is this who we are? Is this how we raise? No. And he convinced his dad, like, the fact that Aaron was the menace all along I absolutely loved every single moment of that. And I want you all to know, like, in the year of our Lord 2023, I don't think Aaron did anything wrong.
I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm a Jaegerist
Yeah.
till I die.
Yeah, yeah. This season, I'm upset that they split it. There's another part that's coming out because I'm just like, I just want to know how the story ends.
Yeah.
But I've been loving every single minute of it.
I just want to say it was peak as the Jaegerist in me came out. I was like, yeah, let's go. And then he said genocide. I'll kill everybody. I was like, oh, well, I still got to ride with my boy. Let's go do it.
Yeah. You're better than me.
All I gotta say is my boy Levi.
Oh, yeah.
To the GOAT.
Yeah.
So I do have another question. Does everyone still hate FaZe Gabby?
Yes.
To the day I die.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. She's on the perpetual, like, hate list.
I respect her.
She didn't have to do Sasha like that. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Off that alone, I really appreciate that she got humbled this season, but also, like, I know that it was ultimately good that she shot Aaron's head off, but when that happened, I was like, there she go, messing everything up again. Like, that is, I don't like her.
Yeah. I think for just Attack on Titan, especially part 2 of the final season, one of the greatest just like twists of all time, just with like Aaron being behind it, like we mentioned, but also just like actually hearing the story of the Eldians, right?
Yes.
Eldians and the founding Titan.
Just like hearing their story is founding Titan, Aaron just like completely switching up to his villain role. I mean, and just like the struggle of it, and then even seeing his friends kind of switch over. So we're gonna talk about previews later, so I'm not gonna just like cover things, but that's definitely a top one that when it comes back, people are about to go crazy, especially since it's actually over. Now, speaking of something that made people go crazy, these two ran in parallel the entire like first half of the year. So the next one is Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer snapped.
Yes. Yeah. That was like, oh gosh, I love Demon Slayer so much. And one of the main things is just the like beauty of the animation. Like Ufotable, like they're the GOAT. Like, and oh god, I'll let someone else talk before I get into it.
I gotta talk about little Uzi Vert. He decided to come in, and you and I thought like, man, get this goofy little man up on out of here, and then he decided to shut me up by being a real one through and through. He the fact this man got 3 wives, he was out here just like, yeah, I got 3 wives, and he's just like guy. I'm him. I'm like, sir, how do you have this much riz? How do you have this much game? And do we need to talk about that final fight?
Bro, we can talk about all the fights.
We need to like
talk about it.
Yo, Tengen, like I didn't think, like when he said he was the sound Hashira, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever that is. Yo, absolutely breathtaking, spectacular. Like, oh my gosh, Tengen is that guy.
Mm-hmm. And he said, like, play my beat. Yes.
The fact that like Oh gosh, I love Tengen. I loved his compassion for his wives and how he's not just like some player and he just loves all of them and cares for all of them. He's definitely got a favorite though. Yeah, I think we all, I think her name's Hinata or something like that. I can't remember her name, but she's the one in the purple with the ponytail.
Mhm.
But anyway, um, I loved how even with missing a hand, missing an eye, he still was going. He was fighting with his teeth.
Bruh.
Hmm.
Like,
Nunchucks.
and what's his name? What's the name of the evil guy? I can't. I
Gia
remember Daki,
Toro?
huh?
Is it Gia Toro or Giu? It starts with a G.
Yeah,
Gyutaro.
Mhm.
Gyutaro. Like I loved him because he was literally like he was just breaking them down. He was like, "Oh, you think you're so special? Like you think that you could handle this? Like you don't know what real suffering is." It almost reminded me of the pain monologue. He's like, "You shall know pain." But I even though he's like ugly and everything like that, I actually loved him as a villain. I thought that their story was so compelling and it also I'll get into this in a later segment, but I was like, I wonder if Muzan is the only one of the demons that can make other demons. And we'll talk about that later. But it was great. It was amazing.
Yeah, Gabe, you had anything?
All I was gonna say is that Billy, he needs to let his sister grow some wings because they're attached to the hip, literally.
I
So
mean,
true.
she's the moneymaker.
That is true.
So like yeah, and then like I understood so I didn't mind that. I was like I understand why you have this toxic relationship with your sister, this very codependent one because they were the only ones they could depend on. Like their mom died. Like I like their backstory. Oh my gosh, it broke my heart. It broke my heart. It reminded me of me and my brother because we're our partners in crime. Your siblings like can be like some of the most important relationships to you. And when you're close in age and you're like taking care of them, like, and like you're wanting to protect them and they get hurt and you can't do anything about it, gosh, like that's heartbreaking. And the
Yeah.
fact that she was willing to go to hell with him, she was like, I don't care. I just want to be with you. That scene, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah. I really loved how just like the season built where like it essentially ends after Mugen Train. Well, starts with Mugen Train. And
Yes.
just like everyone's broken, beat down, spirit is like completely distraught. And then it like
Yes.
builds up again. So like with the first fight with Daki, with Tanjiro, and like he's getting absolutely worked. And then he starts turning up on that one episode. And I thought this was like the peak of the season. And like he cuts her head off. And you're like, he finally cut off an Upper Moon's head. And it's like, nope,
Nah.
got that little tape on. And then he almost did it again when he started like fire breathe. Well, is it fire or flame?
Sun
Sun breathing.
Sun breathing.
He started sun breathing for real. And then it was like, hey, you need to breathe, boy. And
Yes.
it's just like, whoa. And then the second part of that, where we see that his sister Nezuko turns road.
Decides to turn.
Yo, she beat the brakes off of Daki.
Mhm.
Disrespected her.
I never seen so much people getting stomped out in 1 second.
Absolutely crazy. But then it builds again because after that, we see our boys. Zenitsu made a lot more fans than Inosuke went crazy. So they had that one time where it's like the 3-on-1 against Daki. Absolutely beautiful scene how they cut it. And then when he started doing the razor with his swords and cut her head off, but then he gets clapped by Gyatoro. And then just like, again, building up to the final fight where I was literally just like sweating. I was hopping up, jumping out of my seat, rooting for them. And they both all cut the Upper Moon's head off, which it like what I meant, like it builds is that in the first season, he fights the Lower Moon. Is it 6?
Yeah. It's the Lower Moon.
He cuts the Lower Moon, and it's like, no, you didn't. I actually cut my own head off. Psych. And then and then it goes with Daki where it's like, okay, you thought he cut her head off, and it's no. But then he actually cuts a real Upper Moon 6 head off. And then so now, like when we go into the next season, Muzan is about to be snapping. And I know that Meech and Gabe, I believe you both finished the manga, so you know what happens next. But as an anime fan, I'm excited.
Yeah. Can I also say that, like, there's a fact, because I know, I think it was in season 1 where Muzan is like, we haven't had an upper moon die in centuries, but the lower moon. So, like, this isn't just like, this is monumental. Like, there has never been a Hashira that has defeated an upper moon. And, like, the world is about to be rocked. And the fact that Tengen does not see himself as the strongest Hashira and he was still able to defeat an upper moon means that, like, and even the fact that Rengoku, I think he thought Rengoku was stronger than him. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just like, I've heard things that the strongest Hashira is the stone Hashira.
I've heard like pure power,
yeah. And I'm just like, yo, like, if Tengen doesn't think he's the strongest or the most talented, what are the other Hashira capable of?
Demon timing.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Oh my gosh.
My thing about this is, no, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know what's going on after this.
Well, I'm the only one who knows.
Shut your mouth, Meech. So here's my thing. Kind of what Paulina was saying, upper moon has not been killed in centuries, and we already saw how Michael Jackson reacted last time.
He killed them all.
Yeah. So now the only thing I'm like, well, supposedly our sound Hashira is gonna retire. I don't think Michael Jackson's we're not gonna see a happy ending for him.
Don't say that.
No, I think the reason why Muzan got upset in the first season is because he got found by Tanjiro. He doesn't particularly care either about the Hashira. He cares about he cares that someone was able to identify him for who he is. That set him off.
And he has generational trauma, which we saw from Gaki, where he was getting the bricks beat off and he had the memory. He was like, oh, these aren't my memories. You know how bad you got to have get beat to like have your
over an ear.
Right?
Yeah, just see the earrings and you already know.
I can't wait. And sun breathing seems like it broke my heart in the first beginning when Tanjiro goes to Rengoku's family. Like, that whole point in the series, like, oh my gosh, that made me cry. Because Senjiro, I think that's the name of his little brother, like, and just the pain and the familial trauma. And I'm just like, what happened to the dad? Like, was it the trauma of losing his wife that caused him to go off the rails? Or did he see something like absolutely crazy in battle? Like, that made him, like, was he one of the instances where all his generation of Hashira like up and died in a huge battle, or like was it something else?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely been ducking the upper moons. So moving forward, just to keep it going. So for the next one of the most hyped animes that actually lived up to it, Spy Family. I was not expecting Spy Family to be this good. It was amazing. Part 1 and part 2 of season 1.
Yes. Now for Spy Family, I think it's the last 2 episodes. Like, I've seen episode 23. And it's up to 25, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
23, 25.
So I haven't seen the last 2. So I don't know what happens at the end of the season. Now, Spy Family though, like, oh, you finished. Did I cut you off, Demetrius?
No, you're good. I was just introducing.
No, the thing that brought me to Spy Family was the studio who was doing it. I love Wit Studio. We might not talk about it because I think it came out 2021, but they did another anime called Vivi of the Fluorite Eyes. And when I tell you, I didn't know it was going to be a battle anime, but when I tell you those fight scenes were so clean, like, they were crisp. Like, Wit Studio I don't know what it is, but Wit Studio does combat like very few other studios can do hand-to-hand combat, and I love it. And they also good titles. Like they also did one that we'll talk about called Ranking of Kings. And so that's what got me for Spy Family. And then also there's a YouTuber that I really love that talked about it. And I fell in love. It's so cute, but also like absolutely amazing and hysterical.
Yeah, Mish and Gabe.
Yes, Spy Family, an anime that just fills me with pure wholesomeness. That just graces my mouth with a smile throughout the entire episode. The only time I frown is when it ends, because I want to see more. Personally, the cooking episode will always be my favorite episode.
Oh yeah.
That was the one I legitimately was scared for my life because I was laughing so hard I thought I needed to go to the hospital. I almost died that day when that episode dropped. And I believe I told you this, Demetrius.
You did.
That I almost died watching that episode. And
you also told me something else that was really big with one of the Desmonds.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, how the older brother to the Desmonds is one of us.
Yes, sir.
His name is Demetrius.
Oh wow.
Demetrius Desmond.
Wow.
So we in Spy Family.
The Meeches are taking over.
Yep. It's all us. We here. And that's all I gotta say. Just watch the show if you haven't already.
Gabe?
All I have to say is murder, mommy.
Oh my! I knew you would go to it.
We have the biggest your simp on the podcast right now. I'm not mad at it.
I mean, you gotta fight Yuri first. I don't know if you can. You're at that level yet, Gabe.
Though I think what's her name? Nightfall will actually probably be on his side.
Yo,
hey,
Oh, sorry, you go, Gabe.
No, Nightfall. What's that scene? The best way I can describe Nightfall is I think Gojo's the one from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes.
Going with blindfold.
Yep.
What's that one scene when he was messing with his subordinate? What was it? Oh yeah, it goes Homewrecker.
Oh yes,
absolutely,
yes. Can I say I think my favorite episode from so far, because I'm still missing two, is the episode. It's actually, I think it's a filler episode, but it's after Anya gets into Eden College, and they have this elaborate celebration where Lloyd plays Bonnie. Like that episode was so cute, and I just loved seeing like Lloyd do. I feel like it's only a fraction of what he's capable of doing to play a game. Essentially,
that's awesome. Yeah, and I really loved in part 2 the introduction of Bond. I was about to say the introduction of Borf.
Yes,
but I love Borf.
Yes. Oh,
it's just like so many good moments all between, and I really just like love Lloyd's interactions with his family, especially with Anya, because in that episode where we see Bond, we see like when he has the vision that Lloyd dies, that everyone's broken up about it. Like Yor and Anya are both broken up about it. And the fact that she doesn't know once the mission ends that he's just going to like go away. I think that's going to be heartbreaking to see. And it's crazy that she hasn't read his mind about it at all.
Oh, okay. I got thoughts, but we'll save that. Let me write that down.
Be a random fan theory.
We can't finish this Spy Family without Gabe. You have to talk about the dodgeball episode.
Yes.
Daddy.
Daddy.
Literally, it is my catchphrase in my household. Every single time one of my roommates walk around the house, I just peek my head around like, Daddy.
Bro, when he popped up on screen and they said 6 years old.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, bro. He pays bills. He's got a credit score of 750. Like that's a grown man.
I was like, man. That was crazy. I absolutely love that. I cannot wait Yes, we're going to preview it later, but I love Spy Family so much. So if we're good on that, we're going to get into one that we took over the world on the second half. So it's going to get some awards. Bleach is back.
Big
The 1,000-year blood war. Oh my goodness. So 3 of us have read the manga for it. And let me tell you that the anticipation levels for this were insane. And it delivered absolutely. Just go ahead, guys.
Oh, gosh.
In
Man.
tears. We're like in tears right now.
Yes. I like violence. I love violence, especially gratuitous violence. And when I tell you that battle scene at the Soul Society was like everything that I needed and more out of gratuitous cartoon violence, it was amazing. I was literally, so my little brother is my partner in crime when it comes to watching anime. I was calling him after every episode. I was like, Bubba, did you just see what I just saw? And he was like, girl, yes, it is that bad. Yes, you saw them. I didn't think Soul Reapers would get like popped like that. Like heads were rolled, like even seeing lieutenants get like what's the name of the dude who's got the sword that makes
like
things
seven? Lieutenant Kira? It's like with
something like that. He's blonde. Seeing him get a hole blown through him, I was like, yo, my boy, like he had speaking parts. he had like maybe not significant screen time, but I know he had more screen time than 1010. So like he was in there, okay? He was in there, and he just had his body. He didn't even have time to blink.
How's that?
Like, oh my gosh. Then the head captains fight, like, bro. And the episode that I just watched, this is the last episode. It's the one where Unohana and what's his name, Kenpachi fight, and she releases her Bankai. Yeah. Like, oh gosh, I'm run out of words.
Paulina, you might have to leave the room when we talk about the last 2 episodes, because those are Lord. Wild too. But
I will mute my computer.
Just with that, man, Bleach was absolutely insane. The comeback, the storytelling, like with that, one of my 2 of my favorite fights, and these aren't even the best fights in this entire arc, where the Captain Yamamoto fight with the quote unquote Yuak head of the Quincy's, and then the Kenpachi versus Unohana. I remember when I read that she was the first Kenpachi, I was like, wait a minute, what? So this is why they've been scared of her the entire time? Yeah. And because they teased it the entire first run of Bleach. Show.
Really?
They teased it the entire time. When I read it, I thought it was because like I saw something that said her Bankai is like the monster, and that's why they scared. But that's not why. And then the fact that she's a part of the first squad of Soul Reapers that were absolute hitters. Go ahead, Michinke.
Bruh, when I know you saw like the flashback between Kenpachi and Unohana, and when she was like pulled up, it's like, wait, these dead bodies, they weren't mine. You're just like, hold on. How is it that you can recognize which piles of bodies are not yours? How many bodies do you pile up on a daily, Unohana? That's her. Secondly, our boy Byakuya.
Bro.
Oh, that
broke my heart.
It broke me when I read it. Mm-hmm. It broke me when I saw it. I'm just like, please no, don't do him like this. Don't do Byakuya like this.
I heard the fangirl saved him because he was actually supposed to get clapped.
Yeah, so originally he was supposed to die, like full on RIP at that moment, and it was only from fan outcry that that he was spared.
Thank God.
Because if you look at it, look at the scene composition, it's like this man is just, his guts are out.
Yeah.
Genbon Zakura is actually like breaking apart, which the only time you saw that is when other head captains die, and then Aizen, and then and his last request was to like to elicit help from Ichigo, which is something he would have never done.
Nope.
So he relinquished his pride, and it's like, oh nah, this. I was like, death flag, death flag, death flag, death flag, death flag. Oh, thank you, Byakuya Simps. I thank you for saving his life.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Gabe, what you got?
Hot take. He should have stayed dead.
Why?
I mean, without giving spoilers, the amount of deaths we're gonna get, he should have not had no favoritism. He should have stayed dead.
Yeah. No, and that makes sense. I'm a Byakuya simp. And so, like, I was distraught. I called my brother. I was like, Bubba, does Byakuya die? I was like, you can tell me. And I looked it up and everything. But, like, the thing that, there was something else. Like, I had something, I think it was something that Meech said. Oh, can we talk about the fact that Renji got kicked, like, all the way across the Soul Society?
Packing.
He did a whole, like, Liu Kang kicked him in his chest and sent him all the way across the world.
The dude with the gimp mask?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor Renji.
He knocked his soul out his chest, okay? Like, and I know it's not funny, but it was pretty funny. Like, I am really, so one, okay, this goes into, I'll talk about this more, but I was like, so one question that I've always had, I was like, what happened to the first captains? If they were that strong, it seems like some of them went to the Soul King, that realm, or maybe they were before. Yeah, Zero Squad. Like, and can I say, like, I'm actually loving all of them so far. Like, I love the healing guy. Like, and I just got introduced to Uetsu, the guy who makes Zanpakuto toes. I was like, yo, listen, and I know Ichigo's backstory is coming up. I know it. I don't want to hear. I don't want spoilers. So if you guys really need to talk about it, I will mute and go into, like, y'all can text me like when you get back. But when I tell you, I am like, oh my gosh, I did not imagine that I would really enjoy this as much as I am. Like, I was like, because everyone knows classic Bleach is marred by filler. Like, absolutely. So Bleach was like, Bleach was not my first anime, but I vividly remember when Bleach first came out on Adult Swim, and it's me and my brother watching it, and we were like, oh, what is this? And the hype music when things are getting going, it's like da, 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 da. Like that. I love that. And we were like, what? This is so cool. And the Soul Society arc, some of the Arrancar arc, like when they were in Waco Mundo, I was like, this is amazing. This is absolutely great. But the filler, Bleach has some of the absolute worst filler I've ever seen.
Bleach and Naruto, the filler is insane.
Yeah.
Naruto more so, in my opinion, but
yeah. So, like, you got something at?
I was gonna say it was hard, really hard, to wait for 10 plus years for this next season, especially since I read the manga and then how hard that season went, and then to see it didn't get animated. It was one of those where, like, how that and Hitman Reborn, both of those after the shows ended, they went hard, just 100%, 150%, 200, 300, 1,000% hard on them, and they didn't animate them. So the fact that I see Bleach finally animated, and we get to see how hard, and they animated it with the budget to go hard with it.
Yes, definitely. I remember for me with Bleach, like, I like watched the entire thing because I remember watching bits and pieces of it, but I never watched it like linear before. So I watched it for the first time essentially like 5 years ago when I was like on the spring break. finished all 366 episodes, and then I was like, wait, it really ended on the Fullbring arc? That's a weird place to end it. So it's like, oh no, it's keep going, just like what you said, Gabe. So I read this arc and I was like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. Why did it end here? And just like it did not let us down. I'm not going to talk about the backstory, Paulina, for you, but it's that last episode is absolutely beautiful. The way they told that story. So we're just going to keep it moving. This is most likely going to be a 2-part episode of the podcast. So next one, this was also hyped and also hit. Chainsaw Man went absolutely crazy.
Yo, just again, I'm on the episode where Aki like at the end of the episode, he meets the future devil or whatever. That's where I left off.
Future's very bright.
Yeah. I'm just like, I hate, like, whenever these winter anime come out, I'm just like, why do you have to take breaks for the holidays? But I know I'm so appreciative for all of the dub actors. They're absolutely amazing. They deserve all of the breaks and they bring my childhood to life. So yes, please do take a break. But also as an anime fan, I'm just like, give me the episodes. Anyway, okay, someone else talk first.
Yeah. Well, Gabe, as a fan of toxicity, how do you feel about Benji?
So this might be surprising for me, but I'm actually kind of refusing to watch Chainsaw Man.
Whoa, okay.
Ooh.
That's fair.
Mostly because I found out his motivation.
Yeah, that's real.
As soon as I found out his motivation, like, I'm not watching this. And it's I know that's like in the anime world, that's like really, but like for me, it's like as soon as I found out his whole motivation was slowly going from I want to touch your boobies, I want to kiss, and like, bro, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. The raunchiness of it, even as a like an aged anime fan, someone who's seen like literally I was watching Seven Deadly Sins and like y'all know what it is. Y'all know we all know Meliodas needs to be on a list.
He needs to be in jail.
Yeah.
Man, he needs to go beyond jail at this point.
Yeah. Like I've seen a lot. However, it is quite raunchy. Now, animation is great. Story, like because of I feel like the beginning, like the first like 7 episodes of the season was pretty slow. Like I was like just devil of the week, like that kind of stuff. I love the first episode, but now after seeing the sword, like Katana Man, I think that's what he's called.
Yeah.
Like that whole sequence, bro, I was like, oh, this is about to be a problem.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of reactors that I saw essentially said that it's called Chainsaw Man pacing. So like once it hit Chainsaw episode 7 or 8, they're like, oh, the story really starts here. So it's gonna just like be nonstop action the entire time. So me,
yeah. All I gotta say is again, action top notch. Like that, like with the animation style of it, is like, man, this is awesome. This is amazing. Super bloody. I'm like, yes, get all the blood that I need for the vampire soul that dwells within somebody. I'm not gonna name names, but and satiate my bloodlust. But but yeah, so like when it comes to, I really like a lot of the characters. I thought Denji is pretty interesting, an interesting guy. Power is just power. She is her. All right.
Yeah.
Every time she opens her mouth, I'm like, oh Lord, what's she about to say now?
Yeah.
And then of course, got the mystery of Makima. I don't know if anybody else read the manga like I did, but all I gotta say is, who is this woman?
Yeah, her like rubbing hand motion that causes people to explode is wild.
Yes.
But I do have a question. How many of us that have watched it do the dance at the end of the opening scene, the opening theme song, like the dance at the end that Power and Denji do?
Oh, that,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no,
Oh,
no,
you're not gonna do it at a
0%.
con? You're not
I
gonna do it
mean,
at DreamCon?
I would do it at a con. Um, I would definitely do that. Um, but just I don't. So it's weird. I love anime and I love Denji and Power's relationship. Like the fact that he calls her Powie now. I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. However, in terms of like duos and things like that, they're not my favorite. They're not enough for me to get like to copy them. In most cases, like the only thing I think Power is my favorite character because she's like, get away from me, you mortal. I wasn't running away. I was just hungry. And I'm just like, girl.
She's gaslighting 101.
And the thing is, she's not even good at it. Like, it's so obvious. You're just like, bro, what? Um, but I love it. And I love that so in the episode I left off on, there's this old guy who's like the strongest hunter is training them. And he was like, oh gosh, whenever I was always strong and I didn't know my own strength. And so I always broke my toys, but now I get toys that don't break. I was like, yo, this dude's a menace.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Yeah, I just love the chaotic nature of the show. So transitioning to the next one, we spoke of Simps, and we had a new Simp squad that arose last year, the Mirko Simps that came from My Hero Academia.
Yes. That's completely valid. Yeah.
I am one.
The furries. Bitch, I thought you hate furries.
She ain't a furry in my book.
Yeah.
I was like,
no comments.
You know, good and well.
Yeah, Mirko is absolutely, she's that girl.
Yes. Even Meg the Stallion dressed up as Mirko.
Yep. She killed it. Yes.
Speaking of killing.
Bro.
Wait, so how far are you, Paulina?
Okay.
Meech, I haven't seen today's episode. Just as well. Paulina, where are you?
So the last part I came up is Best Genist just showed up.
Okay.
But that's about it. And they're about to reveal Bakugo's hero name.
Okay, so you did see the one big reveal.
The one
Dobby's reveal.
Yeah. I've known that for some years.
But you didn't see the other one.
No, I didn't.
So sad, but we all know what the other one is.
We know what it is, but oh dear Lord. Don't worry, this episode was only a recap episode.
Makes sense.
Okay.
All right, Meech, take it away.
All right, let's get into some war, baby, because bodies is dropping left and right.
Yeah.
Episode 1, they tried to pop off. Oh my goodness, this is what a war should be.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Like, can we talk about how what's his name? By our boy Twice.
Yo,
that was
hurt.
sad. That was a bad episode.
That hurt. It hurt me.
Yeah.
Was a tactical essential to like neutralize after that trauma he got over.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand why they did it, but like, dang.
Yeah.
That's why they gave us that My Villain Academia beforehand. Ain't no way I would have rooted for the villains before now.
They've done a great job at giving the villains like backstory. Because that scene gave it a lot of heart. Even when I can't say that. With Compressed later, something happens and there's a lot of like backstory that kind of like ties in and just like, wow, to actually see Shigaraki's growth and trauma and how that parallels with just Deku as well, which kind of sucks because like both of them are essentially just pawns in a bigger game of these two brothers.
Yeah. No.
I'll say, can we talk about how they how Shigaraki also got absolutely Omega strong for no reason, and then get his whole body burnt to barbecue crisp?
Pull up of the year.
Yeah, he's pretty OP now. Like Can I tell you the whole thing when he shot that quirk deleting bullet at Eraserhead? My heart dropped. Like I love Eraser. I love him. Mr. Aizawa, I absolutely adore, and the fact that he's willing to go so far for his students, I was like, oh, he's about that life.
Mhm.
And then the fact that afterward he cut off his own leg, no hesitation,
Zero. He a real
said
one.
he got that
Yo.
blade and just cut it.
Yes.
Did it with a knife too. That was insane.
Yes.
In one shot, too.
Yes. That I was like, yo, and then I know he's like almost blinded now, like because of I was like, yo, this dude, oh, he's a mess.
Mhm.
Like the whole sequence when Mirko is infiltrating the laboratory, like I thought that so with many of the female heroes, they've not been my favorite because I feel like they're just like, oh yeah, we're fighting. Yeah, we can fight hard, but ouch, that hurt. And like, I don't like Mount Lady. She's pretty annoying and I feel like she's a hero for the wrong reasons. However, Mirko, she was like, oh, you think you're gonna cut my leg and I'm gonna stop? I got broken arms. That ain't nothing. I mean, she was giving those no moves the work.
All of the feet.
Yes, and her work is rabbit. Like, she's the rabbit hero. Like, and she's that crazy. Yeah.
The moment I knew she was gonna get out of hand was when she kept saying instincts. My rabbit instincts tell me to run. But when she runs, she's going after the danger. She's not running away. And then my number 2 indicator that she was crazy is when the high end first woke up and smacked her. And then she just came out and she literally first thing licks her own blood. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. I was like, oh heck no, this girl's about to body someone.
Yes, and she did. She did.
Even while her legs was getting pierced, everything, you saw her muscle tendons.
Yes.
Like, I'm gonna complete this whole
lunar arc.
Yes. Yes.
She completed them regardless.
Yes. Yo. She is. I've loved seeing. So I loved Denki's moment that he got in the beginning when they first infiltrated. He was like, I got it, guys. I was like, that's so cute.
It's for my girl.
That was super cool. Like seeing like I have so many more questions. Like I really there is something like I want to know, like I'm just like, okay, I want to know more about the different quirky users for One for All, and especially the one that just up and died randomly. I was like, this sounds bad. But then also like there's some interesting stuff. Like I'm just like there's a lot. I have more questions. And I'm wanting to see how Hero Society is going to react after Dobby's reveal and what he said, his whole manifesto. And also, how did he survive? Like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the fact that he was like, hey, the number 1 hero that y'all love is essentially a domestic violence abuser.
Yeah.
And that the number 2 is a murderer. So
yeah.
He had pulled out the receipts.
Yeah.
Every receipt.
Mario was like, you are the father.
Yes. And Shigaraki, like, I love him so much more now as a villain. Like and when he was first introduced in season 1, I was like, he's just like an annoying child. But with his Villain Academia arc, I was like, oh, he bout that life. And how like the fact that his body was enhanced so much that he was like causing all this mass destruction. Just like, I don't know, it reminds me of like what they say in One Piece when their devil fruit powers become awakened. It feels like his quirk has been awakened.
Definitely.
And I thought Overhaul was bad, and I knew that Shigaraki's quirk was a problem, but how it is now, like, how you come back from that?
Yo, like that scene where he killed his family first with the corgi, and then I was not expecting him to actually show the little sister, not even like fully decay, but like that puddle with Trunks.
Yeah. See, that was an accident, though.
It was an accident,
Until
but it
the
also,
dad.
like, for me, would like set the tone for the rest of the show, because it's like, yo, My Hero Academia felt more like a PG. They aren't gonna go this far. It hinted it here and there,
Yeah.
but once that officially said it, we're like, oh no, the war arc. Oh no, and then the war arc happened, and we're like, oh,
It got dark.
And the manga is actually worse.
Yeah, I heard.
way worse.
I heard, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
And also I like to give it up. Studio Bones does an absolutely amazing job. They are like, they've done that's another one that they've done. Noragami is an older one. They've done I can't think of them right now. They've done a lot. They're actually amazing animators as well. And I love how they animate when Shigaraki is destroying the landscape, like, and how everything. Yes, like and if it's touching something that he's touching, like how it all just crumbles and fades away, and how they do this stuff with the blocks, like it is, it's great. I've loved how they animate the Mirko, her whole sequence in her fights, and also even what's another one? Another scene there's from past seasons, like when they were doing the it's not the war, but they're fighting Overhaul, and infiltrating the gang hideout and stuff like that. All of those fights and things, like they do such an amazing job.
Yes. So we're about to transition, but Paulina, wait till you see who else appears in this season. You're gonna lose your mind.
I know, on the app Funimation, Lemillion pops up.
Come on.
So
wow.
That's how I knew you were saying spoilers.
Lame.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Funimation.
I don't know how. Like, I don't know how. It's just in the thumbnail, but I know he pops up. I know what's his face, Best Genius pops up, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Let's see what he's got.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yes. For our next one that just wrapped up its run, 3 seasons, I really love. This is one of my personal favorites, Mob Psycho 100.
Wait, hold on. Oh.
Hot take, I have not watched it.
That's fair.
I haven't watched season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. Let me. Boom.
Question marks.
Oh.
You know what that means.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah, I'd say like that one was a pretty wild show. It was like there was some wholesomeness in there, which I really loved, and then when it popped off, good lord.
Yeah. So without spoiling, two of the things that I want to highlight, the dimple scene. My goodness, that is one of the best animated fights and scenes of like not just 2022, but like of the thing, and it was super emotional. And then the final one, when they brought back the old theme song, which used to be my alarm in college, for the Ray, that was really my alarm when I woke up. And
100%.
Yes,
I love that one.
That's one of my favorite. Just with the Reagan and Mob thing, not get too in depth. That was super deep. So since I haven't seen it, I'm not going to go too deep into it. But for the next one, this isn't a show that I watch consistently enough to talk about. But let's talk about Roof Piece.
One Piece. So I know they reached 1,000 episodes this year. Woo, 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 woo,
Woo!
The dubs just finished Whole Cake. And so we're about to finish one. I'm about to get in. I'm about to do the Reverie and then get into Wano. I want to be in Wano so bad.
All I gotta say is, once you win Wano, you do not leave Wano. You are.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
I just no. Yeah, go ahead again.
I just finished the Arlong arc.
Oh, Arlong Park.
Yes. So, but I can't really say anything about that because I pretty much know a lot of spoilers for One Piece anyways,
Yeah.
from where it's currently at. So I can't really plead innocence on that.
Yeah. Real talk. It can be hard to avoid One Piece spoilers. I've been seeing spoilers about a certain character that may or may not die for like 3 years before I even like watch the show.
Yes.
Like, and I was like, oh, okay. But I think I said this last time I was on it. If you're not watching One Piece, you need to watch One Piece because One Piece, you're just like, this is too long. Next thing you know, you're 800 episodes deep and you're just like, what else do I watch? Like that's, if you guys want to know why I haven't watched some of these other shows like that have come out and I'm a little behind, it's because I've been watching One Piece.
I think that One Piece will survive the Book of Revelation, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yes. It
Like-
better.
Like we're all gonna
Like-
die before we figure out what the One Piece is.
Yeah, I just know Meech because I essentially watch it, but like the fights that are happening now and the two big ones and the one person with like 20 forms that they've been fighting. So,
Mhm.
Crazy.
Anybody see One Piece Red the movie?
Yes, it was great.
Whew. Oh man, that show that movie was great. So emotional, and it also spoiled some things. And if you didn't realize it, so I ain't gonna say what it was. All I know is
It's
that I was
set
like,
after the current anime.
yeah,
wow.
it's like it's after the Wano arc. So if
Oh.
you didn't read the manga like I did, and you saw it, I was like, dang, you just really spoiled that because it animated something that hadn't even been animated yet.
Oh, okay. I'm glad I didn't realize it. And hopefully by the time I get to that point, I'll already have forgotten.
All right. Well, for the next part, we are going to get into some of our personal favorites off the beaten path. For this is just going to be a part one of the episode, is the recap of things. But for time's sake, let's just keep it short. So things that we watched in 2022 that came out in 2022 that we really liked. So what do y'all got?
Okay. Who wants to go?
You know, I gotta talk about it.
Talk about it.
Trapped in a dating simulator.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like you all listened to the episode of our podcast about that show. You know my feelings on it. You know how much I love that
Yeah.
show to death.
Mm-hmm.
And funnily enough, I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, I'll let Gabfreak explain this part.
Which part are we talking about?
You know, the part where how I recommended this anime to you.
Oh. Oh, Lord. So literally the main character for this show embodies me in every way and form.
Oh,
When it
that
comes
is
to
interesting.
this dude literally tries to get away from big responsibilities and he does everything possible he will go out of his way and conquer a dungeon to make sure he's off the hook. But for whatever reason, because he conquered the dungeon, he's like, oh, wait, because you did this and now qualifies you for this. So now you have these responsibilities. These for you. And it's like, whoa, I didn't mean to do that because I was trying to get away from y'all.
Yep.
And no, and it keeps escalating to the point where he's like, he gets these titles, he gets this, he gets girls, he gets this. Everything he tries to run away from, he digs himself deeper in a hole. And ever since this show came out, everybody's been sending me messages. Gabe, it's you. It is you in this show. It embodies you. And I was like, you know what? I'll watch it. And I watched it. I hated it.
Like
It
looking
was
in
like
the mirror.
watching myself in the mirror. I was like, I hate this show.
All right, that's dope. Any other shows that y'all have?
Yes, I've got two. On opposite ends of the spectrum. The first one is 86.
Oh yes.
If you want existential dread and just all around pain and sorrow, watch 86 because it's a great time. And then also, if you also want to cry, but for different reasons, watch Kotaro Lives Alone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
The tissue episode.
Oh gosh, don't even remind me.
What?
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Childhood trauma on 10. But you should watch it because it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Gabe, you had any others?
Yes, I was gonna say the one that has no rights for me liking it. I hate that I like it. Shadow in the Eminence.
Okay. I know that's new, right?
Yes.
It's a new one.
That's like power fantasy, right?
Yeah, it's like it's weird because like literally the reason I love it is because the main character is so stupid, stupid.
Yeah.
But
Is it? No, you go.
No, I was gonna say like one thing that came out of the show that everyone's quoting is the part where he goes, "I am atomic."
Oh gosh, that sounds cringy. Isn't the main character supposed to be like a Chunibyo or have Chunibyo syndrome or whatever? It's where basically they're LARPing, kind of.
Basically, but it's way more extreme, and you only see it for one episode where that was relevant. Basically, this guy isekai'd himself. He was literally like, he was so like, I need to be the main character without anyone knowing I'm the main character. And when I'm doing my alter ego, the public, I need to be the background character by any means necessary. So he will literally ignore a girl who keeps trying to get his attention. He will literally like pretend he doesn't know her name. He will literally do stuff out of his way. And throughout the show, so first episode, he literally isekai'd himself because like, this is not the ideal life. I'm taking down biker gangs by myself with crowbars. I'd use them different ways. I'd train my body. And then he starts bashing his head in multiple times against the wall. He's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then he isekai's himself. He literally throws himself in front to Truck-kun as a willing full sacrifice. He literally sacrificed himself to Truck-kun to get isekai so he can get access to magic.
Wow.
I feel like he should automatically be isekai'd into Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
He's an idiot. And then it gets worse. It gets way worse.
Wow.
Okay.
When he isekai's himself, he actually ends up in a noble family with magic and everything. And then throughout the entire show from there, he's pretending he has no skills. And then when he starting his shadow organization by accident, he accidentally saves a girl who's some monster, and he's so OP that he overwhelmed the magic that was corrupting her, and then tells her a bullcrap story. But literally, like, Shadow Garden was like the name of a wine bottle, and then he tells her, "Oh yeah, we're gonna become this organization name. Oh, and this weird Diablos cult, they turned you to a demon. They did this to you." Bullcrap, everything. She believed them. Creates a harem by accident, a whole harem of girls who are his shadow organization, all trying to. And then it turns out all those stories he made up turned out to be true, and he's just going along with it. He thinks it's still a game this entire time. He's so OP, he doesn't realize it's not a game, and he's just like, every single time he gets pulled into a situation, he's just like, okay, let me just deal with it. And like, he doesn't and all the girls are surpassing him, becoming millionaires, shadow agents, book authors, creating technology off the stories he said from the other world. And this entire time he's like, oh wow, they're surpassing me, but I still need to be the background character.
Oh, it's crazy.
He's an idiot.
All right.
That's great.
Meech, you want to speed run yours?
Oh yeah, so there's one that I really liked and I really enjoyed, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be questioning me on like, why in the world did I enjoy this? It is known as To Your Eternity.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Because season 2 dropped in 2022 in October. And
Yeah.
good Lord.
That might be more depressing than 86, to be honest with you, somehow.
No, so this season so far is not that bad.
I haven't started yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
I
You
mean,
don't like emotions.
Where are you at?
so
I haven't watched it.
for me,
I refuse to watch it.
To your attorney, I'm all caught up. Like the next episode
Yeah.
drops tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I'm not all cut up. I know
And
that for a fact.
good heavens, how does it get worse?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, To Your Eternity messes people up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and besides Trapped in Days, that's all I had for Off the Beaten Path in my case.
Okay. For me, we got to talk about Blue Lock. Took the
Oh
world
my
by storm.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you take that one, big fella.
Still running. Oh my goodness. People have monsters inside them, dogs. It's a soccer anime I did not think I would like as much as I did. And then just like with it coming out during the World Cup.
We almost had it in real life.
Oh my gosh, Japan was doing so good. I wish they would have won it. If Japan would have won it, I would have lost my mind.
Yo, it would have been over.
jerseys.
Bro, I'm buying me a Japan Samurai Blue jersey when I get my bread up. That and then it's still kicking off. It just ended its season one, part one core, but it's coming back in January for part 2 of season 1.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
A demonic team. Demonic.
Absolutely.
Blue Lock is a fun ride.
Mm-hmm. Yes. For a few other ones that I'll speed through. Welcome to Demon School of Rumakun. I've talked about it before. Yeah, Gabe, you watch it too. Absolutely incredible. It's so just chill that I love it. It's not like level of Bleacher like the ones that we talked about, but it doesn't need to be, and I enjoy every episode.
It's a very specific niche of like that cute demon setting that I love that Japan does.
Yes.
And Iramakun is one of the longest lasting ones, and it's good and wholesome. That I'm just like, keep giving me more. Yes. Oh, and by the way, if y'all want to sprinkle more of the Iramus Evil Cycle, please do that more.
Oh, I read the manga. I'm not gonna spoil, but I just love it so much. I can't wait till the next arc that they get to after the current one. Another one. This one was wild. Mashoko Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, went insane. This was actually like borderline a big one, but it's an isekai. Rudius Senpai. It actually comes back, I think, this month. It was really, really big episode. I mean, big anime for a while. And like one of the final episodes is like really like huge that people were talking about. So that's something that's definitely interesting. It's an isekai, but it's very good. I'll say that. So you kind of have to judge it for yourself. And then just a few more. Devil is a part-timer. Finally came back after like 20 years.
Haven't watched it. And
then one that came out last year was More Than a Married Couple, but Less Than Lovers. I enjoyed that much more than I thought I would because I thought it would be dumb, but it's actually really good. So
that sounds interesting. I have so many more.
To wrap up our part 1, we're going to get into our awards. All right, so we are here with our Anime 2022 awards, and I am going to kick it off with a Don't Call It a Comeback award. And this can go to none other than Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War. One of the comebacks, we talked about it, comeback of just the decade, essentially being gone for 10 years. Animation, voice acting, fights, story, absolutely incredible. Well-deserved. Welcome back to your pedestal on the big 3 because people were definitely sleeping on you. So Bleach, come get this Don't Call It a Comeback award.
All right. So my first award is Why You This Strong? For a character who is just overpowered and strong for absolutely no reason whatsoever, goes to none other than Makima. Being able to blow somebody's head off at any range with seemingly little preparation, you're just like, okay, no. Especially in the verse that it's in. So, nope, Makima from Chainsaw Man, get your why you this strong?
Yes. Mine is best duo of the year, and this is going to go to Boji and Kage. They're the bestest boys.
Well deserved.
My How Dare You Be Good as a Character award goes to Shisho Master from Reincarnate as the Sword, because that show, the dude was literally isekai and turned into a sword, and I was like, this is gonna be trash. This is like being reincarnated as a refrigerator, and then the show was still good. So I was like, you know what? You get an award. Shisho, you are best. You should have not been this good award.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And for my next award is The Child That Stole Your Heart. And this is not going to go to the one that people are thinking of. It's actually going to go to Boji. Prince Boji absolutely stole my heart this year. Episode 2 and 3, when he became the sidestep king and you saw him crying and he just wanted to lift the sword, broke my heart.
Oh, yeah, that was painful.
The part where we see what happens to his mom in front of him. Oh my gosh. And just like his rise and the final fight scene, that was another one off the beat. And then even the one episode where we thought Kage died trying to save Boji, which definitely earned that award, Paulina. And then him taking down his dad, one of the best animated fight scenes, and becoming an actual king. And then giving that up just to be with his best friend. He stole my heart. Come get this award, Boji.
Yes.
I'm surprised you didn't put Phase Gabby. Nah, I'm just kidding. But for my next award, it's Ultimate Jutsu Budget Increaso. This goes to an anime whose budget just increased out the wazoo, gave us phenomenal animation, gave us top tier, god tier animation. Who else but Demon Slayer? Because that budget was out of here.
Yes.
Especially during the last fight, especially during just every fight, even Mugen Train, like the animation's top tier, the budget was out of this world. And I hope the animators got paid well and are able to see their families now. So yeah, come get this award, Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
I compare that to season 1 animation.
Ooh.
Wow.
I mean, it's still pretty good. It's still.
They broke records with that movie, so
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go with let's do anime that I want to watch, or weirdest anime concept that I saw this year, and it's called The Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. I haven't gotten to watch it. However, I do want to watch it because it sounds super cute.
Interesting.
My second award will go to, well, actually, let's say what the award is. The most unexpected character development, wholesome character development, goes to the main guy from Beast Tamer. I was not expecting that show to be, for me to like it as much as I did, because my friend mentioned it to me. He was like, hey, watch this. It's a little bit more wholesome than it looks like a harem. It is, but it's not. So I watched it, and then I was not expecting the girls from this show were actually teaching this guy. He was already OP, but it wasn't like he had this. It wasn't like your traditional, he just suddenly turns OP. The girls were actually encouraging this dude, helping him get past his trauma and actually believe in himself and actually have confidence and like to actually learn how to love himself throughout this show. So I was like, you know what? It was unexpectedly wholesome how they went about this dude, how he went from thinking he is inferior, having this inferiority complex, to I'm good because people believe in me. I'll give that to this dude.
All right. So for my final award, it is The Forbidden Technique, Down Tremendous. And we all know what it means to be down tremendous, down horrendous, out here doing whatever he can to for the ladies, for that unspoken riz. Goes to none other than Denji-kun from Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
He is down tremendous to a T. Like he allows himself to be called a dog. He barks like one too. And worst part is, I know somebody exactly like that. So
you need to help your brother out.
Listen, there's no hope at this point. I tried my best.
Oh, you don't want to know the next award then?
So
wait, you didn't mention that he got barfed in his mouth.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was bad. I'm actually really glad they censored that.
Gonna help.
I would
Censor.
have died.
But oh yeah, so the most down tremendous person in anime history right now, Denji, the Chainsaw Man himself, the down bad devil himself.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. If I'm ever that down bad, take me out. Take me out. Yeah.
I'll enable you.
No,
No,
no, no,
this
no.
is the one time I will never enable you to
Yeah,
be
take me
down
out. Take
horrendous.
me out. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next award.
Final awards.
You know what? Let's go a special category that's very dear to my heart. Socially awkward queen of the year goes to Comey from Comey Can't Communicate.
Mm.
She's so cute, but she's so awkward.
Yeah, adorable. Gabe.
My next award is called the Biggest Simp Award.
Oh,
It's gonna go to the dude from Eminence in Shadow.
oh Lord.
Tell me why. This dude, like, I don't like you, girl. I ain't gonna do anything you tell me. And she's like, I can make you do whatever I want you to do. He's like, no, you won't. She takes a golden coin, flicks it across the room, and he goes, oh, you think money's gonna get me to listen to you? And she goes, I do. And then the next scene, because you're right, it literally hops with his mouth, catches a coin, and starts acting like a dog every single and literally she just flicks another coin after another, and she goes paw, and he gives this paw after this girl started flicking coins at him. So for the
Oh
biggest simp award goes to the dude from Eminence in the Shadow.
We got to do better, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stand up.
this was not a good year for guy representation.
All
Between
right.
Andrew Tate and now all of this, we whew.
All right. Good. So now we're going to transition into Anime of the Year. So we're going to have the first half of the year award from January to June of 2022, second half of the year, and then overall. So I have one for the first half of it. I just want to hear what other people say.
Okay, that's hard.
I think there's a clear top two.
I feel like I want someone else to go first.
Well, for me, the top two, it either is Attack on Titan or it's Demon Slayer for the first half of 2022.
Yes, I think I want to be different though. Like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Those are some of my favorites. However, Ranking of Kings had my heart.
Don't do that to me. That's my second favorite anime of all time.
Ranking of Kings had my heart.
Well, I'd say that my top anime for the first half of the year, I mean, we spoke about already, has to be Demon Slayer, the animation, to fire. The final fight between Uzui Vert and Gyutaro with Tanjiro coming in as backup to chop his head off. It has to be one of my favorite fight anime sequences of all time, to the point where I even tried to choreograph it in a lightsaber combat. So I have to give it to that.
All right, Gabe, what's your nominee?
I can't think of any, so I'm just gonna cop out with Demon Slayer, just because, like, beautiful. It was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And for me, my nominee would also, it's tough, but I'm going Demon Slayer just because Attack on Titan, if it would have finished the final season, I probably would have given to it. But there was a lot of, before the action picked up, standing around doing nothing.
That is true.
So I'm going with Demon Slayer for first half of the year. For second half of the year, I'm going Bleach all the way.
Yeah.
Gotta feel like number one.
That one's hard. There is so many really good ones. Like, I'm looking through a list and I forgot Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't.
That one was dope. It's quite trippy. But yeah, I honestly, it's Bleach. It's Bleach. I haven't been this hyped for an anime in a long time. It's Bleach.
Gotta give it to the Bankai.
Gabe.
You know what? I'm gonna ruin this list just because I want to ruin it. I'm gonna say Romantic Killer just because it was just like
Come on.
the only reason I'm saying it is because you know how we were talking about Trapped in the Sadie Dim?
Mhm.
After Romantic Killer was the other one, everyone was texting me, go watch this, it's you on screen. I watched it, I was like, ah, dang it. The entire time I was screaming at the screen, why am I looking at a mirror?
All right, so it's the competition for overall. It's between Demon Slayer and Bleach. So
Girl,
who are we going with? One of the two.
Bleach.
Bleach.
this is hard.
I have to give it to Bleach. I'm sorry.
I do have to give it to Bleach as well.
Bleach with the unanimous sweep for anime of the year.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah. So the hype behind it, the animation, the story. Now, one of the things that I think Demon Slayer does better than Bleach is that Bleach drops a lot of exposition and they do more telling instead of showing sometimes. So, yeah.
fair. So with our awards, thank you for all the just like award nominees and winners. And this is going to wrap up our part 1 2022 anime review. And in part 2, you can catch our preview of what we expect to see in 2023. So let's go play our music.
See ya in a bit.